Hey, what's going on, guys? The Langbanger here. I have a product review slash discussion. So I wanted to discuss the new structure deck that just came out, and it's Albaz Strike. So this is a pretty cool structure deck overall. So I'm gonna say up front that one, we're gonna have a new meta deck, and that's gonna be branded or Despia, whatever way you wanna, you know, categorize that. But then also, this deck has really good reprints, and just in general, it has really good value. So I guess that's kind of three parts there. So we're just going to go through all the cards here. So I will say I'm no expert at, Despia or branded or anything, but I could at least, kind of discuss and maybe just, free form kind of say how I'm, feeling about each card. So let's just go right into it. So first thing, I guess, is these decks are now, I think, $10.99 or $11.99 inside like Target, Walmart. Your locals may charge more, so it's kind of just inflation and just, I don't know, I guess all this time, like since the dawn of Yu-Gi-Oh, like prices have been the same. So I guess that's kind of cool that, things were like that, but, changed a little bit. Also, random, but this deck may be a little bit out of order. So I did end up getting three of these, and all three of them were in different orders. So there are 52 cards in each deck, so I'm hoping I don't have anything missing, but it's enough blabbing. So first card is Tri-Brigade Mercurier. So this is actually a pretty cool card. It's another effect veiler. So you can activate this card from your hand or face up to the graveyard, negate the effect. Yeah. So when your opponent activates a monster effect while you control a fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz. So that's pretty cool. And then if this card is banished, you can add from your deck to your hand one Fallen of Albaz or one monster that mentions it. So I guess doing a little comparison, like I don't know if you'd want to use this over Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is probably going to be better if you want the, effect negation. But, if you're just using a pure Despia deck, then perhaps you want to, get this card into your deck. So that's just kind of how I feel on that. So that's the first Ultra. The second is Spring's Kit. This also is a new card. And the other thing, I may not be 100% if I say if something's new or not, but these two at least I'm pretty sure are new. So what happens with this card, you can special it when you have a fusion monster on the field or engraved. And then if this card is normal or special, you can add your hand one of your branded spell traps that is banished or in your deck, and then place one card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. So that's kind of cool. It's not major advantage, but it's getting to your key card, and that's branded fusion. If you had something that maybe you want to send from the deck for whatever reason, that could be a good use. So I was even just thinking like Psyframe Gamma, maybe you could put the driver back in, that way you can, summon it from the deck, just things of that sort. So it's a pretty cool card. I mean, definitely you want to get to your branded fusion, so I could kind of see this having use, but I don't know if this ends up making the cut though. Next card is the Golden Sword Soul. So I'm not too high on this card, but when a monster declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do negate the attack, then if you control a fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material, you can destroy the monster that declared the attack. And if a monster is banished face up, then you can banish this card and special summon one light spellcaster from your hand or graveyard whose attack equals its own defense. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. We'll have to go along and see if there's anything in this deck where that last effect would go in, but simply put, destroying a monster nowadays, like that just doesn't seem very appealing. So I don't know if I'm missing anything. First new fusion is Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon. So you need Fallen of Albaz plus one fusion, Synchro, Exceed, or Link. And then you can only control one of these, and then once per turn, you can send one fusion monster from your extra deck to the grave that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material, banish one monster on the field, and then if its fusion summon card in its owner control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls during the end phase of this turn. So this card's really cool. I really like being able to send stuff from the extra deck. So my first thought process, and if anyone knows me, they would know that I'm immediately going to try some sort of like chaos deck. So a lot of these are light and dark, so it kind of fits the theme. So we'll see. And that last part of destruction, it's like, it's cool. I don't know if it'll go off though, but at least the first effect is cool. Next one is Lubalai, the Searing Dragon. So you need a dark monster in Fallen of Albaz. If this card is fusion summon, you can discard one card. Fusion summon one level 8 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling fusion materials mentioned on it into the deck from your monsters on the field, graveyard, or face up banished. And then for the rest of this turn, this card cannot attack, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so that's a pretty cool card too. So it allows you to just keep on extending. I honestly feel like with Branded or Despia, I don't know if this deck can do it all itself. I feel like you're gonna have to mix an engine. I've seen Brave mixed with this. I've seen Invoked. I've seen Shaddoll. So if you kind of think in those terms, like I can't really speak on the Brave itself, but at least the Invoked and Shaddoll, they also like their fusion monsters. So if you think about it, like you can just keep summoning fusions. So that's pretty cool. Then we have some reprints. So Fleur de Lis, Red Eyes Darkness Metal, Thunder King. I think that's the first reprint for that card, or at least like in common, but it was originally rare, then I think super in a tournament pack or whatever. So that's really cool. Chaos Dragon Levianeer, that's a really cool reprint. Not to say any of these cards were really any money, but these are just cards that just pop up in the metagame every now and then, so it's just nice that it's within this product. You have more copies, and if you're someone that's getting into the game, you just have a lot of, good cards at your arsenal. So here's one of the new cards, and like I said, it's kind of weird the ordering of this, because I went from like 5 ultras to like 3 or 4 reprints, and now I'm back to foils again. So this is now supers. So Branded Fusion is your main card. So fusion summon one fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material from your extra deck, using 2 monsters from your hand, deck, or field as fusion materials. So you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except for fusion monsters. The turn you activate this card, you can only activate 1 per turn. So yet another card that can just fuse from basically anywhere and just drop a fusion. So instantly I thought, okay, Shaddoll Fusion I believe is once per turn. Shaddoll Fusion is once per turn I believe also. So this just opens up more lanes, and really if I'm, free-forming like an idea in my mind, but just using some little mini engine, Fallen of Albaz, I think he's a dark, so that kind of fits the theme there, and just, allows you to just fuse more. So that's kind of my thought process, and that's going to be a deck profile at some point. So this card is really cool. I don't see anyone talking about it, but I kind of understand why. But banish any number of branded spell traps from your grave. Special summon that many tokens. 2,500 attack, 2,000 defense, level 8. And then you can banish this card from your grave, then target one of your banished monsters that is Fallen of Albaz or mentions it, add that monster to your hand. So just wow, first of all. I mean, it's like a scapegoat on steroids in a way. I mean, a scapegoat for sure will give you the 4 tokens up front, but if you're really just churning through your deck, I mean, you could get upwards to 5 tokens and 2,500 attacks. So that's nuts. And then you get to add. It's a trap, so I kind of understand why. I'm pretty sure like people aren't using this, but that's just something to be on the lookout for. So that's the reprint, Fallen of Albaz. Again, the ordering, I don't understand. Branded Retribution. This also is a super. I think this is new also, but basically when a spell trap or monster effect is activated that includes an effect that special summons a monster, return to the extra deck one face-up fusion monster you control or 2 fusion monsters in your grave that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material, and if you do, negate the activation, and if you do that, destroy that card. You can banish this card from the grave, then target one of your branded spell traps in your grave, add it to your hand. I think the card's pretty cool. I don't think I would throw that right into a deck, just because I don't want to say you need a lot of materials up front, but it's like, for me, I'd rather just use Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment, you know, things of that sort. But there are uses, so you can return to the extra deck, one face-up fusion monster you control, or 2 fusion monsters in your grave. So it's just a way to reuse them, recycle, so that's up to you. You have Albion, that's a reprint, pretty sure. Radiant, reprint, very good. Artifact Scythe, crazy that this is in here. Not to say it was expensive or anything, but it's just one of those cards like, is it going to get banned? Is it not? Etc. etc. So yeah, at least we got another copy of it, but the fact that it's a common in here, I guess it's not going to get banned. I mean, not to say you're buying this deck for that card, but I don't know. So you have the White Dragon, you have the Black Dragon, you have Starliege Seaford. That's a really good reprint. That wasn't a ton of money before, but it's just, yeah, nice and easy to get to. Keeper of Dragon Magic. I've always liked that card. I mean, it wasn't a pricey card, but just, it's cool. It's in here, whatever. Summoner Monk. That's another one of those cards, like every now and then it may pop up. Maybe not so much nowadays because, yeah, monster negation is, you know, a big thing, but, you know, that's cool. Ghost Ogre, heck of a reprint. Pretty much just any hand trap, just over time, it just gains value. And hand traps just move in and out of format. So, you know, if they can just reprint them, like, that's fine. Then you just got them for someday, you know. So, I already had them, but, you know, that's very welcome. Fact Veiler, another good one. Omni Dragon Brotar, cool. So, like I said, again, the ordering is just really weird, but now we get into Branded Lost. I don't know if this is new, but I really like this card. The activation of your cards and effects that include an effect that fusion summons a fusion monster cannot be negated. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when a monster is fusion summoned this way. And if you fusion summon a fusion monster, you can add a Fallen of Albaz or one monster that mentions it from your deck to your hand. That's crazy. I'm pretty sure that's new, but it's just, hey, I can play my branded fusion. If you want to do invocation, if you want to do Shaddoll fusion, like I said, all those sort of ideas, it's just like, okay, this is going to go through and you can't do anything about that. So I would at least use one of that. Branded in white, I think that's old. I'm not really too high on that. I mean, it seems okay, but that just might be my inexperience. Branded Bond, Fusion Gates, Fusion Recycling Plant, Fusion Substitute, Gold Sart. Gold Sart's one of those cards, like, I mean, it's more so for, like, old format if you guys are into that stuff, but it's a very welcome reprint. I mean, whatever. Pot of Extrav, crazy reprint. I think that card might have been like 15, 20 bucks before it was like printed, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 times. So just an easy to get. I mean, if you think about it, you know, just spending 10, 11 bucks on each deck, you know, whatever it is in your area, you know, times 3, you're getting really good value. Even if you don't want to use Despia or Branded, like even the reprints itself, it might be enough for you to warrant buying. So, Called by the Grave. I mean, just wow. Dark Roller no more, just wow again. Like this deck just keeps spitting out value and just good cards. I mean, a lot of these cards see play nowadays or, you know, in and out of formats. So just really good stuff. Screams of the Branded, I don't know if that's new, but I kind of like that. So in a way, if you wanted to use Call of the Haunted or Oasis, like this is a better version because you can just keep reusing it. So I don't know. That's up to you. I mean, it's a trap, so probably going to be too slow. Judgment of the Branded. I don't know if that's new. So Necrofusion, back to the front. Warning Point. I mean, that wasn't money, but I mean, a common print now. Cool. There can only be one. Cool print. Dimensional Barrier. Crazy reprint. I don't think that was money, but it's just a really good card. It's going to be good until the end of time. It's just, I guess the meta just calls for it or it doesn't, kind of thing. So, Waking the Dragon. So on to some fusions and then some tokens. That's a reprint. I know that's an old card. Tidanclad, that's cool. Bridegrand, I don't know if I remember that, but that's in there. Sprind, the Iron Dash Dragon. I don't remember that either, but I'm going to assume that's older. Albion, the Branded Dragon. I believe that's older. That's a good card. Then you have some tokens. So Albaz, the Shrouded. Ecclesia, the Exiled. Tri-Brigade. The Virtuous Vestals. And Aluber, the Dogmatic. So I'm not even sure how you do like any of these tokens. I'm sure like a trap probably makes one of those, but yeah, whatever. I mean, that's cool, just adding more value. But that's the whole deck. Enough rambling from me. I know I'm at 16 minutes, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Kind of just, you know, giving my raw thoughts on you know, this deck, the contents. Hopefully I didn't say anything too out of line. I mean, you know, there's certainly a lot of people that understand the game better than me nowadays. But just for me, it's, you know, you release a product, you put good reprints in there, you're probably going to get me to buy it just so that I can kind of stay up to date with the game. And I just love fusion summoning. So I think whether I use this pure or, like I said, mixed with Shaddoll, Invoked, I don't know if there's any other ideas. I just feel like I'm definitely going to build some, and if there's a tournament coming up, I feel like I would be likely to, you know, use this deck again. So there are some cards that were missed. I think there were a couple of fusions, the level 8s, so they're kind of money. I think that there's another a searcher spell that wasn't reprinted, so I'm kind of hoping with the tins they'll all be in there. I don't know what all sets are like eligible, but hopefully they just reprint those. Guardian Chimera is a really pricey card. I mean, that's something I should have jumped on because I read it. I'm like, that's really good. You probably need super polys for this deck too. That's the other thing with structure decks. Like, oftentimes, like, your local is going to be flooded with people using the deck because, one, it's something new, and then two, it's something pretty playable. You just add a couple other, you know, staples or cards, and you're pretty much good to go. So, you know, those are some of the cards to watch out for. There's like 2 level 8 fusions. There's a spell. There's super poly. You may want to use imperms in here. Droll and Lock. You know, Ghost Spell, you know, there's some other like hand traps that move in and out. So just kind of do your research. And yeah, I would just say this is a must buy. Just good prints, good new deck for the meta. And that's about all that I have. So I will shut up now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and you have a good day. Peace.